In the early 1960s, highway construction was quickly changing the landscape of Seattle. One of the projects being worked on was a 6-lane expressway that would run north and south near Lake Washington. But while construction was going on, neighborhood activists protested the pending destruction of the Arboretum. The protests worked, and voters turned down the project a few years later. Today, all that remains are abandoned overpasses and unattached connections drivers on the 520 bridge fondly refer to as the ramps to nowhere. But Greg Lewis hopes people will give this 50-year-old structure a second look.
I grew up in that area, and as a kid, I would come out here and jump off the bridges and just like paddle around the canoes, and it was just like an awesome place growing up.
Greg is part of a team called Recollective, a group of architects and artists interested in highlighting and preserving structures throughout the city.
When we heard that it was going to be torn down for the 520 bridge replacement program, we wanted to do something just to kind of highlight, to celebrate this interesting area that's kind of a forgotten and unknown part of Seattle.
The result? A piece of art they call the Gate to Nowhere.
I mean, it's just kind of a really cool, beautiful, natural environment, and it was really hard, thinking about what we would do to sort of celebrate, memorialize this beautiful space. And when we thought about it, we thought, well, really the bigger art piece is the space itself. So how could we reflect that? It's just like a mirror you'd have in your bathroom, but it's flexed around, so it kind of creates this, it distorts and sort of reflects the environment in an interesting way. It was about a year of planning, working with the DOT, working with the City of Seattle and other various interest groups.
Once they got approval, the group worked over the next 2 months setting it up.
Acrylic mirror frame, and we just wrapped it around the columns, pretty simple, and strapped it with stainless steel straps. I mean, we all have day jobs, so we had to do this in the weekends and evenings, and it was all done by hanging from ropes. So we had canoes on the bottom and people coming down from ropes on the top.
Are we going up?
It was very challenging. I mean, hanging in a harness for 8 hours, 9 hours in a day is not very comfortable.
But now that it's done, Greg and his friends couldn't be happier with the results.
And the response has been really great. It's better than we could have imagined.
So while it may be a 50-year-old eyesore to some, Greg and his friends hope they've turned a discarded public work into a reflective work of art.